Amalek meyhaydu veyat kusheva vesim meya medina sheva vesim meya medina dam bam bim bam 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 dam dam. Ay lay 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 I lie lie, I lie lie, diddy lie lie, diddy lie 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 lie, diddy lie lie, diddy lie, bam 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 bam, diddy lie lie, diddy lie. I lie lie, diddy lie lie, diddy lie, bam 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 bam, diddy lie 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 lie, diddy lie lie, diddy lie lie, diddy lie 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 lie. So where did we stop? I have the mark over here in 22. Yeah, that's what I marked on page 22. Huh? He says, Reb Shlomo, so what are we talking about? We're talking about over here that, I think that's Michal. Michal? And Michal. Ah. You come sit on the men's side, so the women's still might show up. Take a book. Michal, open yourself a light. Open a light for yourself. Yeah. So this is your Didya?
This is my common.
That's a common. You guys don't have school this week?
Oh, we do. I just finished my Gemara early, so.
Oh, okay. So we're on page 22. We're talking about hidden miracles, right? The splitting of the sea was a revealed miracle, right? But Purim is a hidden miracle, right? So he says that when you're really in love with somebody, right? Every small little thing is like miraculous. You know, everything about them is miraculous. They're laughing, you think, wow. They're crying, wow. Like, you know, whatever it is, they're just sleeping, wow. So, and then it's Yisrael, life goes on in a regular way, but really there's miracles happening all the time, right? So we're on page 22 of the second paragraph. And they go to the Shatet Etchem Be'omek Makim. I want to share something very, very deep with you. Right, the Torah tells us that when did we first encounter Amalek? It was after the splitting of the sea. He wanted to tell the Jews, I don't really care if God split the sea for you. It was a good production, right? A good Hollywood show. It kasher hu koreyat yam suf. I don't care if God is turning the world over when He's splitting the sea. After the splitting of the sea, he heard that God wants to give us the Torah, Torat Chayim, the Torah of life, the living Torah. Which teaches us how to wash our hands in the morning, how to wash our faces, how to tie our shoelaces. Amalek doesn't want any of that. So he's actually saying two things over here. He's saying, first of all, like it says in the Chumash that you remember what Amalek did to you, Asher kocha baderech, that he cooled you off, right? Literally, Asher kocha baderech, he encountered you on the journey. And the Chassidus says that kocha is from the word kar, cold, cooled you off. Like, don't get so excited. And then and what's the Torah all about? The Torah is all about small things. I mean, great things, but also small things. How to put on your shoes, how to wash your hands, how to wash your face, how to go to the bathroom, a bracha to make after the bathroom, and so on. So sometimes, so Amalek's voice comes and says, "Oh, you really want to tell me it's a big deal? This really means so much. You care so much about this, etc." That's all Amalek. He says, "And I want to tell you something." What's that noise? No. Says, I want to tell you something. Shavua Tov. He says, I want to tell you something. הרבה הורים זוכרים את ילדיהם כשהם חס ושלום, כשיש חס ושלום אסון. A lot of people remember their kids when, God forbid, there's an accident. פתאום הם זוכרים שיש להם ילדים. All of a sudden they remember that they have children. יש אימהות שאין להם זמן לילדים שלהם. There are mothers who don't have any time for their children. Unfortunately. I told you I was doing a Shabbaton in Manchester, Vermont. It's southern Vermont, and Friday night this guy came from a boarding school nearby with about 3 or 4 Jewish girls, private boarding school, and I spoke with him. I said, and they were like teenagers, 15-year-olds. Says it's a very, very expensive boarding school, and this is all the kids in that school. I mean, all the kids in that school are kids that are coming from very, very wealthy families, and their parents have no interest in them. They just want them out of the way. And these kids have their parents are like big executives type of things and so on. And these kids have gotten themselves into like serious trouble because they were doing all kinds of crazy things just to get some attention, So he says, Nebuch, there's a lot of parents that don't have any time for their children. Chas v'shalom k'shayelad choleh, but God forbid when the child is sick, mitkashkim mihagan v'omrim lehem shayelad choleh, and the teacher tells them that your child has got some fever or whatever. Then they run to the kindergarten. What's going on when the child is not sick? Who cares? I don't want to say anything bad, but הרבה יהודים, through the last line on 22. אבל הרבה יהודים כשהייתה מלחמת ששת הימים, הם זכרו את ירושלים. A lot of Jews, even Michal remembers this, right? I'm saying this is something that you remember, that when the Milchemet Sheshet HaYamim was taking place, everybody, all the Jews across the world were like remembering over, Yerushalayim and Eretz Yisrael and so on, right? כשהייתה מלחמת יום הכיפורים, And then we had the Yom Kippur War, Him Ratzu L'Eretz Yisrael, they ran to Israel. But what are they doing when nothing special is happening? Right? So, Mihem ha'anashim shemechubarim le'eretz Yisrael. Who are the people that are connected to Eretz Yisrael? I met this Hasidic Rabbi, descendant of the Rishner, who told me years ago that he lived in New York, and he told me that when he decided that he's going to Eretz Yisrael, he's moving to Eretz Yisrael, even people who never spoke to him would come up to him in the street and would say, "Why are you doing that? Like, what's with you?" Right? It was like such a strange thing. Like, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do that? That's what Reb Shlomo is saying. Is like, when something is wrong and there's danger and so on, like everybody right away remembers, we have Eretz Yisrael, like it's so important to us and so on. But what about when we're not in danger? Like, what are you doing about it now? Right? So it says Reb Shlomo, who are the people that are really connected to Eretz Yisrael? Lo ha-Yehudim ha-Nisiyim, not the Yidden who are like into miracles. Lo ha-Anashim shemitapchim kasher pitam korei mashu. It's not the people that like all of a sudden they turn over when something suddenly happens. Mihem ha-Anashim shemechubarim le'eretz Yisrael ha-Yehudim shel Purim. Who are the people connected to Eretz Yisrael? It's the Purim Jews. Shum davar lo korei. Nothing extraordinary seems to be happening. Shum davar lo korei. Purim is a Yom Chol Ragil. Purim is like, as we've said, halachically, it's like a weekday. Shum davar lo korei bePurim. There's nothing special happening. Katuv b'Shulchan Aruch, it says in Shulchan Aruch, Kishata omer et Shem Hashem, when you say God's name, whenever you're making a bracha, or when you're davening, you say God's name, Ata tzarich mamash lir'od, you have to tremble. And I told you, the Amshina Rebbe, when the Torah is being read, and he hears Hashem's name, you see he mamish trembles. So he says, so once I was davening in the Lithuanian Bismedrash, when he ro'eh b'li la'agid mashu ra'a, and I saw, without saying anything bad, echad mi Rashi HaYeshivot, one of the scholars of the yeshiva, sheyichyeh chayim arukim v'smechim, and I bless him to live a long and happy life. Kishu omer baruch atah Hashem, blessed are you God, who mar'id et kol gufo. He makes his whole body tremble. Chashavti, so I thought to myself, shehu shover et amut hashidra shelo. I was worried he's going to break his spine. Shalti echad hanashim shayu sham, I asked one of the people that were there, Mahu aseh, what's he doing? Zeshikaon, it's crazy. The fellow that I asked, he said, oh, he's doing that because it's written in Shulchan Aruch. That when you say God's name, you're supposed to tremble.
Is this his interpretation, or is it?
It is in Shulchan Aruch.
But you should tremble when you hear God's name.
But what Shlomo's getting at is like this. He's saying the halacha is, like I demonstrated with you last week. When you thought about your son, right? You had a physical reaction, right? And when you say Hashem's name, we spoke about it yesterday, Shalashudus also, right? From the Tanya was talking about. When you say Hashem's name, if Hashem is not just an idea in your mind, there should be some kind of a reaction in your body, right? And And so Reb Shlomo was saying he was davening in this Medrash, and one of the Rosh Yeshivas was davening, and every time he said Hashem's name, he was like, his body was going through contortions. So when he asked somebody, what's this all about? So the guy who answered him said, oh, it says in Shulchan Aruch that that's what's, that you should be trembling, right? So look, it should be obvious to you by now what Reb Shlomo is going with this. So he says, Zematok, it's very sweet that you're doing it because it says in Shulchan Aruch, אבל אני לא חושב שהשם רוצה שתשבור את עמוד השטחה שלך. But I don't think that God wants you to break your spine. למה השולחן ערוך מתכוון? What's the שולחן ערוך thinking about? שכתוב שצריך לראות, when it says in the Shulchan Aruch that you're supposed to be trembling, so he says, צריך לראות בפנים, you should be trembling inside. אם אתה אומר את המילה ירושלים, ואני מרית את גופי, if you say the word Yerushalayim, and I make my body tremble, זה מאוד חלש, it's very schwach, it's very weak. אני חייב להכריח את עצמי לראות, I have to make myself tremble. כשאתה מזכיר את שם השם, אולי אתה רועד בגלל שהזכרת את שם השם. When you say God's name, maybe you're trembling because you said God's name. מה העניין המגילה? So what's the Megillah all about? אני לא מזכיר את שם השם. In the Megillah, God's name doesn't appear. אני לא אומר מילה, I'm not even saying a word. אבל גוואלד, איך שאני רועד, but it's awesome how much I'm trembling. גוואלד, איך שאני רועד, it's awesome how much I'm trembling. Right? So in other words, Purim is on the level that you don't need any fancy displays of miracles or anything like that. It's just that it's so deep and it's so real. Everything takes on tremendous significance. B'Yom Kippur, kulam ratzim lebeit hakneset. Yom Kippur, everybody's running to shul. Zoha yadut berama shel Yom Kippur. That's Yiddishkeit on the Yom Kippur level. Mashu korei. Something is happening. Asfarim p'tuchim. The books the registries are open. Notnim lecha shana chadasha. You're getting a new year. Ze ma'od, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the Chadasha was sorry.
No, chadasha.
Okay, sorry.
You're getting a new year. Okay? So that's Yom Kippur, right? זה מאוד חשוב שתהיה שם, and it's very important that you should be in shul on Yom Kippur, no question about it, right? But Purim is a whole other different level. He says, Reb Shlomo, page 24, he says, Nahag lo Yehudi Kushi, this black taxi driver, Amar li, בארצות הברית, אמר לי, אתם יהודים, he says to me, you Jews, ממש אנשים משוגעים, you guys are crazy, right? Man, you're crazy. Didn't do a good accent, you did you?
Yes, we get that.
Very good, yeah.
Be careful on Park Black.
הוא סיפר לי שהייתה אישה יהודייה שהבטיחה לו טיפ של $10. He told me that there was this Jewish woman that promised him a $10 tip. אם הוא יספיק להסיע אותה לבית הכנסת, if he could manage to get her to shul, להספיק לשמוע את תקיעת שופר, in time to hear the shofar blowing. הוא אסף אותה ממכון יופי, he picked her up at it from the beauty parlor. הוא אמר, he says, אני לא יהודי. He says, I'm not a Jew. אבל אני יודע שביום כיפור אתם לא הולכים למכון יופי. I know that on Yom, even so, I know that on Yom Kippur you don't go to a beauty parlor. היא הולכת למכון יופי, and here she is, she's going to a beauty parlor. ואז היא רוצה להספיק להגיע לתקיעת שופר בזמן, and she wants to get to shul in time to hear the shofar. הנהג אמר, אתם אנשים משוגעים. Man, you guys are crazy. Yeah. Right, so ביום כיפור כולם רצים, and Yom Kippur everybody is running. בפורים אין שום דבר, Purim is Nothing's happening. Nobody's running to shul, right? מדוע פורים הוא לא באותו יום שתלו את המן? Why don't we celebrate on the Purim on the day that Haman was hung? Haman was hung on the 13th of Adar. מפני שאפילו זה היה יותר מדי, because even that is too much. It's a typo, there shouldn't be a yud in the midai, in the first yud. זה כבר נס. It's a miracle. המן רצה להרוג את היהודים, באותו יום תלו אותו. Haman wanted to kill the Jews, and on that day, instead of him killing us, he got hung. בעצם פורים שום דבר לא קרה. Actually, Haman was hung not on Purim Day. Haman was hung, in the month, when Esther had made the party.
That same day.
Yeah. No. Haman was already dead after she made the party for Achashverosh and Haman, which they say was on Pesach. So that's when he got hung.
Almost a year beforehand.
Okay. So he says, הוא רצה להרוג אותנו ושום דבר לא קרה. He wanted to kill us, but nothing happened. ממש שום דבר לא קרה. לא היה נס בפורים עצמו. There was no miracle on Purim itself. השאלה היא, מה אתה מרגיש אם שום דבר לא קורה? What do you feel if nothing particular is happening? הרבה אנשים רוצים ללכת לכותל ורוצים להתפלל כמו שמתפללים ביום כיפור. A lot of people want to go to the kotel and pray like we pray on Yom Kippur. אבל זו טעות, הכותל זה פורים. The kotel is more like Purim rather than Yom Kippur. ירושלים זה פורים. רק תלך לשם, זה הכל. You don't have to wait for a special occasion, just go. Go to the kotel, go to Yerushalayim. Understand? In other words, you don't need a special miraculous event, right? It's everything in Yerushalayim is special. הרבה אנשים רוצים ללמדים תורה. A lot of people are studying Torah. הם רוצים להיות הגאון הכי גדול בעולם. They want to be the biggest scholar in the world. זה לימוד של יום כיפור. That's learning on the level of Yom Kippur. בפורים שום דבר לא קרה. Purim, nothing special happened. אבל גבלת משהו ממש קרה, but obviously it's awesome that something did happen. כשהמשיח בא, לא יהיו יותר ניסים. It says that when Mashiach is going to come, there won't be any more miracles. ממש לא יהיו יותר ניסים, there won't be any more miracles, מפני שהשם עושה ניסים רק כדי להציל אותנו, because God makes miracles only when it's necessary to save us. כשהמשיח בא, הכל יהיה יפה. When Mashiach is going to come, everything is going to be beautiful. אתה תגיד, זה יהיה משעמם, so page 25, you might say, it's going to be משעמם. What does משעמם mean? Boring. לא יהיה יותר עיתון ידיעות אחרונות, we won't have the ידיעות אחרונות anymore, לא יהיה יותר עיתון מעריב. לא יהיו שום הרפתקאות, there won't be any surprises. זה בגלל שאתה יהודי ברמה של יום כיפור. If you feel that way, that's because you're a Yid that's still on the level of Yom Kippur. אבל אם אתה יהודי ברמה של פורים, but if you're a Yid on the level of Purim, יהודי ברמה של משיח, a Yid on the level of who's waiting for Mashiach, גוואלד, everything is so exciting. אני רוצה שתדעו, אני אומר את הדברים האלו בגלל שאני רוצה לברך אתכם במשהו מאוד מיוחד. So I want you to know I'm saying all these things because I want to give you a very special blessing. הרבה אנשים מתחתנים בדרגה של יום כיפור. A lot of people get married on the level of Yom Kippur. הוא מאוד מעניין, היא מאוד מעניינת, he's very interesting, she's very interesting. אבל אתם יודעים, זה לא העניין של חיי הנישואין, but you know, that's not what marriage is about. מה כל העניין של חיי נישואין זה ממש פורים. The whole thing about marriage is on the level of Purim, זה לא יום כיפור, זה ממש פורים. It's on the level of infinite, beyond proportion. הרבה אנשים יש קושי לשמור על חיי הנישואין שלהם. A lot of people have a hard time with their marriage, בגלל שהם רצו להתחתן ברמה של יום כיפור, because they saw the whole marriage, they saw it on the level of Yom Kippur. What do you want to say?
I need a bigger on what exactly means Purim and Kippur.
So this morning we were learning, right, and we've been learning it over here too. Purim, I don't say Tachman, right? And it's I don't even see anything. We don't see anything negative in each other, right? All we see is that wow, like like now, like you're such a holy Yid, and welcome into the mikveh of my heart, right? And I'm coming into the mikveh of your heart, and I'm going into the mikveh of Shalach Manas, right? That's Purim, right? That everything about you becomes like, wow, so special.
Why is that?
Because when you're connected to your essence, see, Purim, remember we learned the Maimer. I don't know if you were there for the whole Maimer, but the essence of the Maimer is that the greatness of Purim is that we were going into Mesiras Nefesh, right? Mesiras Nefesh means it's beyond reason, it's beyond proportion, it's beyond, right? It's like why the Alter Rebbe says why should you love God? That you can explain. Hashem loves you. Hashem is giving you every breath. Hashem is giving you life. So it makes sense. Love God, but to give up your life for being a Jew, why should I do that? What's the logic in that? Hashem gives me life, and I should throw it away, right? Why should I do something like that? But when you're mamish connected to your essence and to your source, a Jew, even the most flippant Kal Shebekalim, is going to say, there's no way that I'm going to give up being a Jew. Right? So when you're in that kind of a space, it's like I remember once in Montreal on Purim, I was driving with my family, we were going around taking Shalach Manas, and this guy I haven't seen, I don't think he's alive anymore. A Holocaust survivor. He was a single guy, but he was from Hungary, but he became a Baal Tshuva, was dressed Hasidish and everything. And he stops me on the street, and I was in the car, and he just says, "I want to give you a kiss." He was like really poor, just wanted to appreciate, Eid.
Yom Kippur. What's that?
Yom Kippur is you're busy with the cheshbonis. I did so many mitzvahs, I did so many averos, I better get my act together, and so on. And you're just thinking that for you. In terms of Ahavas Yisrael, you should try to be there on the same level. You understand? But I'm saying you should try to be like the Ahavas Yisrael should be like Purim, the Ahavas Yisrael. But Yom Kippur, it's still like everything is like it's like and it's very important, Yom Kippur. Understand? Yom Kippur is very important. There's no question about it. But it's not so much getting in touch with like your essence. It's more about this is like fixing up the way I behave day to day, fixing up my act.
So,
which is very important.
as
Because if you don't, then if you don't fix up your act, like if you don't do your tshuva, it's not going to be easy to be in touch with your essence.
How did you know?
I know because you've been signaling with your body. Yeah.
I'm going to say something, but I'm not sure if I can say it clearly enough to get across.
Welcome.
Hi.
Oh, Hashem.
Shalom.
Welcome, Hashem.
Oriel done?
Oriel, done?
Yeah.
Baruch haba.
That's true. Thanks.
Have a seat.
It may not sound like it connects, so I'm not sure I can say it clearly enough. It's something I feel deeply.
Yeah.
And it's connected with my life. And that is normal is a miracle.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Normal is a miracle.
Everything is.
The ordinary, and to look, we don't need to look in some
25.
exotic
You said it.
location
You said it.
or
Just
some special special situation.
Everything is a miracle.
In just normal is a miracle, and not only that, normal is holy.
Yes.
It's holy. And you know where I learned that from? From the Trup, where it says Kadoshim to you. From the Trup, where it says in Parsha Kadoshim, be holy for I, Hashem, are holy. The Trup is Mata Alehem Kadoshim to you. The most, and say to them, be holy, in plural. The most boring Trup that there is. Yeah. That's not what you'd expect. You say, be holy. The commandment to be holy, you expect to be very extravagant. Fireworks. And it wasn't. Boring. Ordinary life. That's where holiness is.
Okay,
How we relate to
good.
each other.
So let's go back to that story that with the taxi driver, when he says to Reb Shlomo, he says, like, you Jews are crazy, because of that woman that she was coming from the beauty parlor, she wanted to be in shul on Yom Kippur to hear the shofar. So what's pshat in that story, And Reb Shlomo once said, let's say you're walking in Manhattan and there's a Jewish guy sitting in a car at a red light on Friday night, and there's a good-looking woman walking by, and he starts honking his horn. So Reb Shlomo says, "What do you see? Do you see a Jewish boy who's really into all this Gashmiya stuff, all this worldly stuff, and that's what he's really into? Or do you see that he's honking his horn and he's saying, Rebbeinu Shalom, show me how real Yiddishkeit is and get me out of this stupid game that's going on over here." You have to have very good eyes to be able to see. You have to have very good eyes to see that. You understand?
Shlomo eyes.
I think it's what's the first one? Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you see? That, and I told you the story a couple of weeks ago. I think a friend of mine here in Israel. I told it to you, I think, last week, and he grew up in Long Island somewhere. His mother came from Russia, single mother, and she besides taking him to shul for his bar mitzvah and having something like a bar mitzvah, so to speak, I don't know, maybe, she didn't do anything. There was no kosher food in the house. There was nothing. There was no Shabbos, no Yom Tov, no nothing. And when he grew up, when he started taking an interest in religion, so he started going to the East and things like that. And he's a brilliant, serious guy, and he actually learned Sanskrit, and he really studied all these things. And she says to him, and he told me the story when he was sitting shiva for her a couple of years ago. She says to him, "I don't understand you. Why do you have to go looking for these things? Isn't it enough for you that you're Jewish?" And he was like, "What? You never told me anything about Yiddishkeit and this and that and so on." Okay, but that it's interesting that when he's sitting Shiva for her, like that stayed in his mind. That for his mother, just the fact that she's Jewish, she was you can bet your bottom dollar that she would never give up being Jewish no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, it's the idea that I am a Jew. There's no question about anything else. I am a Jew. How come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing that? How come you're doing that? Okay, so she didn't know. She grew up in Russia, you understand? But she knows that she's a Jew. That's amazing. And that's, and I said it yesterday, Shalashudis, like, I don't know who am I to say this, but what we need in a certain way, maybe, is all needing to come out into the street and let these cousins, these murderous cousins, know every one of us is willing to fight to our last drop of blood for any Yid. Whether you're like the holiest man in Yerushalayim, and you to make it clear you're willing to be moister nefesh for the most unholy guy in Tel Aviv, and the most unholy guy in Tel Aviv has to make the message that I'm ready to be moister nefesh for anybody in Yerushalayim. Now, these boys who are in the army and not into Yiddishkeit, but they're standing there and in the front lines, and they're being moister nefesh to ready to be moister nefesh for Am Yisrael,
Absolutely.
And we need that every Yid should come to that realization. Wait a minute, we're all together. There is and being. You understand? There's a holiness to a Yid, period. Whether he's doing the mitzvahs or whether he's not. It's not like that a Yid is just like a dry body, so to speak, and then when you learn Torah and when you do mitzvahs, then you become somebody special. A Yid is a special creature that God, you're a descendant of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. You are a Yid. There's something very special about you. And if you don't believe me, look at what the world is saying. The world is watching. I was reading this crazy statistic. There's like something like, I don't know, 200 foreign journalists covering what's going on here in Eretz Yisrael. There's maybe 5 in Syria, a much larger country. The world is basically saying, the world is paying attention. What are the Jews doing today? What are the Jews doing today? Everybody wants to know what we're doing. Why? Because they can't explain it. The truth is they can't explain it. But just there's something innate there that they know that a Yid is special. Nakuda. So let's stop this stupid old game of trying to be like everybody else, because no matter how much you're going to try to be like everybody else, the world is going to turn around and is going to say, forget it, you are a Jew. That's what the world is going to say all the time. You're a Jew.
They say that if a Jew forgets he's a Jew,
The Goy will remind him.
the Goy will remind him.
I wish I had an answer for all the Jews who are intermarrying.
Yeah, yes, Hashem.
And yeah,
For me?
here,
Even here?
Shalom. Yes.
Okay, page 26. It's always been like that in the countries that the Jews had the most liberties. That's where assimilation was always the highest.
Most what?
The most liberties. That's
Yeah.
where assimilation was the highest.
Historically speaking.
Historically speaking, yeah.
It pains me very greatly.
The what do you call it? Like once I heard this, he'd say, if you would have gone around, let's say 1930, and in Europe, and you would have asked people, given that there was going to be a Holocaust, which country do you think is going to do it? Which country? Which European country? If you would have asked people in the 1930 that if there was going to be a Holocaust, which country do you think is going to be the one to do it? Russia, Ukraine, Germany, France? Nobody would have picked Germany. Nobody would have picked Germany because Germany was like in Jewish German literature. They were even referring to Berlin as Little Jerusalem.
And 33, the Nazis came to power.
I know. I said 1930.
Oh.
Okay, and like nobody would imagine that. Like, the Jews in Germany thought, even when the Nazis were already coming to power, the Jews in Germany thought that, oh, they don't mean us, they mean the Jews in Poland. It's documented. Okay, so the point is that we're Jews, and if you're going to try to forget it, the Goyim are going to remind you, and so stop wasting your time and celebrate your Judaism and live as a Jew. Page 26, Hatikun Shel Purim. בפורים אנחנו כל כך מתרוממים עד כדי שכך שאנחנו לא יודעים את ההבדל בין המן למרדכי. We get so high on Purim that we don't know the difference between Haman and Mordechai. זאת אומרת, what does that mean? Other angle on it. He says, שאנו לא יודעים את ההבדל בין גאווה לענווה. We don't know the difference between arrogance and humility. מפני ששניהם קדושים, because both of them are holy. העולם יודע או ענווה או גאווה. The world knows either arrogance, humility, or arrogance. האמת היא שאתה צריך את שניהם, but the truth is that you need both.
You call it pride also.
אבל אתה צריך לדעת מתי להשתמש בכל אחד מהם. But you need to know when to use each one. Yeah, pride is a good word. הכעס, anger, הוא דבר קדוש. Anger is a holy thing. אם אתה יודע מתי להשתמש בו, if you know when to use it. כל הרגשות בעולם, all emotions in the world, הם מאוד קדושים, are holy emotions, מפני שהשם ברא אותם, because God created them. אתה רק צריך לדעת מתי הזמן הנכון להשתמש בהם. But you need to know what's the right time to use it. In other words, you have to be, in Chabad, the phrase is, moach shalit al halev, the mind rules over the heart. Right? העולם חושב, the world thinks, או שאתה שמנדריק, either you're a shmendrik, or אתה תמיד ענב, you're always humble, or שאתה תמיד גאוותן, or that you're always being haughty. שניהם לא נכונים. Both are not right. בפורים אנחנו בדרגה שאנו יודעים בדיוק מתי להיות ענב ומתי להיות גאה. Purim we're on the level that we know exactly when to be humble and when to be proud. האמת היא, truth is שכדי להיות עבד השם אתה צריך הרבה עזות. Truth is that in order to be a servant of God, you have to have a lot of עזות, chutzpah. רבי נחמן אומר שאפילו כדי להתפלל, even Reb Nachman says, even to daven, אתה צריך הרבה עזות, you need a lot of chutzpah. זה אומר שאני עומד לפני השם ואני תובע, because davening means I'm standing before God and I'm making a demand. בבקשה השם תקשיב לי, God, please listen to me. To say that to God, nidreshet harbe azut, you need a lot of chutzpah to say that. Why should, wait a minute, who are you? Why do you think that God should listen to you, right? That's a chutzpah thing. So, nidreshet harbe azut, it takes a lot of chutzpah, but azut kedusha, but this is holy chutzpah. Holy chutzpah. So, you also have to have holy humility. Not shmendrikit, not shmendrik humility. We're not talking about the stupid humility that most people have. Oh, I'm not good, I'm not worth anything, that's, that's, it's, if you have talents and you're not doing anything with your talents and you're not studying and learning and so on, then you're saying, oh, I'm humble because I'm not doing these things. That's not humility. Humility is that when you're doing all these wonderful, great things that you can be doing, and still you're humble and still you recognize that there's so much more to do and that all that you've done is just a little drop in the bucket.
Golden Meyer one time said, don't be so humble, you're not that great.
Very deep.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's exactly that. Right? What is the big praise that that Hashem gives to Moshe Rabbeinu in the Torah? That he was the most humble person in the world. He was humble before everybody. Right? So he says, you have to have holy humility. The people who have holy humility, they're the strongest people in the world. We're at the top of 27. If you will know how exactly when to use your humility, your holy humility, as Teda, you will also know you will also know when to use your holy pride. So Purim, there's a great light that's shining. So we know when the gava stops being evil, and we know when humility stops being beyond our capability. Everything is holy on Purim. Because I know when to be humble and I know when to be strong and chutzpahdik. So it's interesting that he's saying on Purim, you know when to do this and you know when to do this. But if you're sort of drunk and you don't know the difference between Haman and Mordecai, how do you know, right? Good question. And so what he's saying is that it's not so much an intellectual thing that as a result of it, but rather that's the holiness of Purim that you get a deep sense of.
So if we already get a deep sense, das, of both our holy chutzpah, our holy humility, why do we then go to the point of ad lo yada?
The Rebbe explains that ad lo yada means that you're going beyond. He says it's not that there isn't a difference between cursed is Haman and blessed is Mordechai. There is a difference, but it's you experience it rather than just know it. You're going ad lo yada. You're going beyond knowing it
To feeling it,
experiencing it, right? So that's what Reb Shlomo is saying over here is that your experience in Purim tells you when to be proud and when to be humble.
To experience that rather than to have it be intellectual.
Yeah. Okay, So he says that this is exactly what he says over here in this last paragraph that we just read. That was that there's a great light shining on Purim that informs you of this. You know. So he says, "Hara gadol biyoter ba'olam hu ha'atzvut." The biggest evil in the world is sadness. Madua ha'olam lo niya yoter tov. Why isn't the world getting better? Madua ani betor adam prati lo niya adam yoter tov. Why, as I as a personal, individual citizen, why am I not getting better? Why am I not becoming a better person? Rabbi Nachman says the reason is mipnei shani malei atzvut, because I'm full of sadness. Maybe I'm sad because of something that I did yesterday. Maybe I'm sad because of something that I might do wrong tomorrow. It doesn't matter why I'm sad. Because in the middle, right now, I'm full of sadness. Reb Nachman says that sadness is the biggest evil in the world. Why? Because kol ha'etzot shel ha'amalek, kol ha'etzot shel ha'ra memalim et ha'yehudi ba'atzvut. All of Amalek's talk, all the advice of evil fills a Jew with sadness. Okay, it's like let's say you're coming out of some kind of a club or a concert or whatever it is, and you see these Yidden and they look like they're happy with having been there, but it's not true. They're sad. They're sad.
Not sure I understand that.
I'm saying that
why you would say that they're sad.
because it might not be evident at the moment, but a Yid naturally has some kind of a knowledge and an awareness, as faint as it might be, that this Olam Hazeh is not what it's about. Jews just know that. Now, it's why are Jews so involved in social activism and human rights and so on and so on? Talking about Yidden who don't have any Jewish education, because there's something that they know that it's the way things are. It's not good enough. There's got to be something better. It's got to be something better, and there was a time in my life I used to see these. I used to be in such places. I know for myself for sure, but even fellow Jews, they didn't really enjoy it. Not the way a boy enjoys it.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying the world out there,
They're just there because
they're there because they think that that's what you need to do, or they're
for
searching
something.
for something. They're feeling empty. They're feeling something's got to fill some void, or whatever it is. You understand? They're looking for something to, like we spoke about this also. That see the way Hashem designed us is that how should we say? Do you ever see the movie E.T.?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
E.T. wants to go home.
E.T. come home. E.T. come home. Is that the line? Phone home, right? In other words, Hashem designed us. You see, this Spielberg guy is not such a simple guy. You understand? So the E.T. phone home is like Hashem put something into a Yid, like a little whisper there. Yid, phone home. Phone home, And in other words, Hashem put it, the way Reb Shlomo put it once, is Hashem put this emptiness into us that we should really be aware and feel this emptiness, so that we should be seeking Hashem. So when he said it like this once. He said, "Give John Howard an old car, he's happy, right? Give Chaim Yankel a BMW, he's happy for one day, but tomorrow he's back to his emptiness. And if he doesn't know what it is that he's really looking for, so he thinks, I have to have two BMWs. Understand? But he says that empty space that Hashem put into you is so holy that nothing of this world can fill it. The only thing that will fill it is mamish connection with Hashem. Understand? That's the only thing that's going to fill it. And
can you not have? You not have a connection with Hashem by going to a concert?
I didn't say that.
No,
you can sit there at the concert and you can think about Hashem. You understand, if it's an appropriate place, but I didn't put down going to concerts. I'm just saying that like why were so many Yidden into the Grateful Dead? Because the Grateful Dead were talking about stuff that is more than just Gashmias,
Right.
And Yidden are basically looking for that kind of stuff. Like unfortunately, not everybody gets to find out what it is that they were really looking for, But by design, that's that's what we're looking for. Now, why is sadness the worst thing in the world? Because when you're sad, you're a customer for every stupidity in the world.
Stupid what?
And for every stupid thing in the world.
Oh.
Understand? Anybody can come along and say, like, then the Yitzhahara can come along and say, "Oh, listen, you're sad. I'll come with me. I'll take you somewhere to make you happy." Right? But they say that why is Yitzhahara called Yitzhahara? Because not just because he tells you to do bad things, but because he is bad. Because Yitzhahara comes and says, "Hey, Shalom, you're sad. Come, I'll take you to a party," right? But the next day, if I'm going to be happy, then the Yitzhahara is not going to get me to go to that thing to do that again. So he can't stand that I'm happy. So he takes away the joy, so that I should be his customer again for whatever he's going to suggest. Okay, so mamish, like you got to be besimcha. There's a story that Reb Shlomo used to tell, that the Baal Shem Tov once prayed and he wanted to know who's going to be his neighbor if he goes to heaven and who's going to be his neighbor if he goes to hell. So he was shown that he was taken to a certain town, and there's this rabbi there, a holy man, who's so religious that on Shabbos he just doesn't even dare to get out of his chair because he might step on an ant or whatever. And he's constantly screaming at everybody in the family, "Be careful, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that." And that's, if he's going to go to hell, that's going to be his partner, his neighbor. And then who's going to be his neighbor if he goes to heaven? He's taken to this town, and this one Yid there. And on Friday nights, he rents a dance hall, and he gets a band together, and he invites everybody for a big party. The Baal Shem Tov goes up to him and says, "So who are you? Why are you doing this?" He says, "Listen, I only know one thing, that on Shabbos you're supposed to be happy. I don't know anything else." So he says that's what he does. He wants to make people happy on Shabbos. Now, in other words, sadness is really not what it's about. And what we mentioned it yesterday from last week's chapter in the Tanya. If you allow Hashem to move into your being beyond your mind, in other words, if your relationship with Hashem is not just an intellectual relationship, your relationship with Hashem is complete, then imagine, says the Alter Rebbe, you're just an ordinary citizen, and the king
calls you up and says, "Hey, can I come and stay in your house for a day or two?" You would be ecstatic. It's like, what? Me, the king, is staying in my house? Like, what can I do for you, king? What could So Hashem is basically saying he wants to move into our sanctuary. And when you're sitting and you're learning Torah, Hashem is present in your sanctuary. How could you not be the simple? When you're doing a mitzvah, Hashem is present in your sanctuary. How could you not? So, but if you just leave Hashem in the realm, and you sort of keep God just in the intellectual domain of your being, you're not going to experience that happiness.
Does that also connect why is there a reason that says that 11 spheros, just going on to this expression as well, I'll tell you is 11 sphere when you add that extra sphere to the 10 of Kesser, you put God in a different place instead of having him inherently be in all of them.
I'm not familiar, but which text are you referring to?
I heard it in
Never heard of 11 spheres.
or it's
That's in Tanya that there's an extra negative sphere. I believe.
So I need to see it. Find it and let me know.
Sure.
Why would there be an extra negative sphere? There's only 10 spheres.
Or maybe no, it's in a mimer. I don't think it's in Tanya. It's in the mimer. Rashis Goyim Amalek, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with. I'm not sure.
I haven't read the mimer.
By the Friedrich Rebbe.
I'll find you a potential source.
Please do. Okay, Chavra, see you tomorrow.